Hello, Vince Campy here. We are going to do a little project called Multiplicity, and I'm going to use these two photos of me in a photo shoot with myself. I am looking a little fancy right there, so let's get to it. Okay, so we've imported the images into Lightroom. All we're going to do, we're going to set the camera on something sturdy, a tripod, a table, a chair, something like that, and then you're going to take several pictures. Make sure you line up when you take the picture. Here's a lovely shot. I can just go through these right now and see and look and rate them. That's a little bit better. Okay, I like that one. That's pretty good. Stars there. I've shot these. I used a tripod, but I wanted to make sure I was on this side of the picture. And when you do this, make sure you're on one side of the picture, and then the person, yourself, that you're going to be in a picture with will be on the other side, and there'll be a clear line between them. So, so you'll be able to do a real quick little masking job to get that happening. So, first of all, though, you want to go into your library and you want to make sure you name your folder. So you've already imported them. Click there, right click on there, going to rename. Leave the date, always leave the date on there. Multiplicity. Okay, then just hit save. And now that is named, so it's really easy to know when you're just looking at this list of files what is going on there. Okay, so I'm going to hit G to get the grid view back. I'm going to go to, let's see, select all photos, select all. I never go here to select things. I just hit Command A and all the photos are selected. Now, because I want to rename these photos so they don't have something like untitled or some other MG something something. So I've selected all the photos by hitting Command and A. Then I go to Library, Rename Photos. Now I've chosen Custom Name Sequence. Very important. Okay, now here I'm going to write Multiplicity. Okay, oops. Got a little extra something there. Multiplicity, okay. Start with number 1, hit OK. Bada bing, bada boom. Now they're all named. Okay, so that's real important to keep your files organized that way and named, because when you check in the, well, it would be in this folder, check in your pictures folder, under that, it renames this, Multiplicity, and in here, all the files are now named Multiplicity, which is very important. So when you're looking through your basic file structure, you can see the names of things. It's real quick and easy to find items. So you go through, and with I'm using the arrow key, the right arrow key, and that's a pretty good one. I tried to time it so I was jumping, get a little in the air action happening. Okay. Oh, that's a cool. Oh, well, pretty excited there. It's actually all right. Okay, there's that one. I'm kind of liking this. Whoa, hello. I'm kind of liking this one, though. So I'm going to give that a 3 rating. So I'm going over here to see my model. And this one's not too bad. I like the facial expression on there. Let's see. Now I wanted to get over, because I'm black on black here. And so things aren't going to look as distinct. So I moved over a little bit. And there I am against the white background, but this feet are gone. Unfortunate. Oh, there's a nice pose. Oh, look at that sassy boy. Okay. All right. Look in there. That's not too bad. Okay. Let's do a 3 on that one. So no, those are the two I'm going to edit. So what I'm going to do in order to get the tonality and brightness and all that even, I'm going to go here to Filters, Rated. Then I'm just going to put a 3 on there, and that gets me down to the 2 I'm going to use. So now I go over to the library, or excuse me, the develop module. And here I'm going to do the standard editing. So I'm going to hold the Option or Alt key and slide the blacks over a little bit just so I have a black point there so I get some nice contrast. While holding Alt or Option, I'm just going to bump this up a little bit. Those are getting pretty blown out, these lights here. But so I just scoot it over a little bit. And now to get rid of that, I'm going to bring down the highlights. And so now I've brought some detail back into these super bright lights there. Okay, now I want to get a little more detail here. So I'm going to bump up the shadows a little bit. There we go. That looks good. I'm going to set a white balance. This is going to be pretty easy. I just click on something white. There we go. Okay, now my eyes get used to that. Okay, maybe bring the overall exposure up just a little bit. I'm going to bump up the vibrance just to get a little color in there. Okay, make it a little more happy color-wise. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to want to do the exact same settings on the other photo because I have the same lighting in the room. So now I'm just going to click on the other photo. Right here, it's going to bring over the previous settings. So I just click on that, and there it goes. Now if I just go between these, oh, I moved some things here, but it doesn't matter. Okay. All right, so these are the ones I'm going to use. Now, I just hold Shift and click on this, so both of them are selected. I'm going to right-click, go to Edit in Adobe Photoshop. Oh, actually, open as layers in Photoshop. Oh, that's what he meant by that. By he, I mean me. Okay, so open as layers in Photoshop. Okay. That's the song I wrote for opening files. Very special song. Okay, so now it does that little weird thing here. It's thinking about stuff, and bada bing, bada boom. Okay, I'm going to make this window a little bit larger, and I'm going to hit Command 0, which is View, Fit in Window, or Fit on Screen. So now there we are. So now I'm going to turn on and off the top eyeball to make sure the structures, those obviously moved, but this cabinet didn't move, these light stands didn't move. So I'm going to turn that off and on. And so it shifts a little bit. See a little bit of a shift there. So I'm going to click on that one. I'm going to hold Shift and click on the bottom one. So both are selected. Then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to Edit, Auto Align Layers. Now that will be active because you have both of them selected. So Edit, Auto Align Layers. It's going to align the structures on there. Hopefully it'll do a good job. It usually does. Leave it on the auto setting. Hit OK. Aha. Now, it moved them a little bit or something, don't know exactly, but I'm going to turn the visibility of the top layer off again and see, oh, now it's solid as a rock now, baby. You know that solid as a rock now, baby song. Okay, so so this is going to work beautifully. All right, so now I'm just going to click on the top layer so it's selected. I'm going to want to add a mask to this. So right down here, there's a mask there, see? See a little mask? It looks like a little, sort of like a Japanese flag there. So I'm going to add a layer mask there. Now, I'm going to hit B on the keyboard to get the brush tool. Now, when you paint on a white mask, I'm going to need to use black. So here, let's minimize that so it's not in our way. And here down here, I'm going to hit D to make sure I have the default colors, which will make it pure black and pure white. Now, I have a white mask over here, so I'm going to want to paint with black, so I'm good there. Now, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to hit B to get the brush tool. See, I was using the pencil tool earlier, so I'm just going to go to brush, make sure I have the brush tool. You know the brush tool? Can you say brush? That's a short one right now. Okay, the brush tool. And then If you click here, whatever number will be up here. I'm going to make sure I have a nice normal brush. Sometimes they look normal, but they're a little odd. So you have this scroll wheel here. I just clicked on this little down arrow. Click on the general brushes, and the top soft round. That's a nice generic brush. Hardness for right now is going to be 0, and let's see how big. Okay, I have a nice high-res image, so this is not going to be very big, so I'll make it. Now I'm going to use the bracket keys that are right next to P on your keyboard, and oops, it made a bracket. That's fine, so I'll jog that. Invalid number. You are invalid. I haven't heard that since I lived at home. Okay, now this brush, 5000, is going to be a tad big. So I'll right about there, click. Now I'm going to hit the return key on the keyboard. It'll get rid of this box. Bam, that is gone. So now I have that brush. I'm going to need a little bit bigger, so I'm going to zoom out of my thing here. I'm going to lower the opacity on this layer a little bit just to see where that other guy is. There he is. So I have a nice separation here. Hallelujah. Okay, so I'm going to click on the mask. I'm painting with black. I'm going to use the bracket key to make this a little bit bigger, because the bigger the brush is, the softer it's going to be. Okay, so now if I just paint like that, I'm done. Let's see, I have a little something right there. Let me see, is that anything? Nope, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So now I'm gonna raise up the opacity. So it doesn't quite line up. I'm a little bit behind, but for our little situation here, it's gonna be just perfect. Because I wanted sort of a behind the scenes in the studio vibe on this. Yeah, I think I've got the vibe. Okay, that's pretty much the whole thing. And if you need to go back and forth a little bit, working on the mask, then that will be fine. You know, if you're overlapping the person, then you might have to get in there a little bit more carefully, and you can make the brush a little bigger, a little smaller, whatever you need. But this seems to line up pretty good. Command S to save that, because very important to save it. Yeah, I just love whistling because I'm so good at it. I was never one of those people that can just whistle a beautiful little song. I'm kind of a bit of a handicapped whistler. Don't pay any attention to the mannequin in the corner there. She's just keeping an eye on things. Let's see. So we got that looking good. I'm going to crop it in just a little bit. So I'm going to hit C to get the crop tool. Let's try an 8.5 by 11. I know. Sometimes I just live on that edge. So I hit C to get the crop tool. This is the crop tool right here. Okay, then there's a preset for 8.5 by 11 by 300, which is a nice print resolution. So click right here. Yours will probably say ratio or something like that. Oh, that's what yours will say, ratio. Unless you've got something else on there. So you click on that little down arrow. Then you go to 8.5 by 11 by 300 ppi, pixels per inch. This is going to give us a perfect 8.5 by 11 print resolution. Zoom out a little bit. Now, I want this to be the other way. So I want it, right now it's 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to want it to be 11 by 8.5. So I just click here and it swaps it. Yep, swapped. Okay, I'll zoom out a little bit. All right, so maybe I'll just bring that in a tiny bit there. Get rid of some of the funk over there. Get rid of that. And let's see, it looks good. You may have to crop it in a little bit if yours was more of a radical shift when you did the straighten, or excuse me, auto align layers. Then just crop inside of the transparent pixels, you may see. I'm just gonna hit the little checkbox there. Okay, so now it's super high res, that's why I made it a little smaller. Command 0 is gonna fit that in there. Oh, that's looking pretty pretty good. Yeah, feeling that. Then you can put some text on there. But let's see, write the word multiplicity and your name or something like that. But for this tutorial, it's a tutorial. I hit Command S again. I have this. It'll print in an awesome size. The brightness and all the stuff on here looks good. So I think we're golden. Okay, we save that. Now, if we go over and get Lightroom, all I'm doing is holding the Command key, and it allows you to switch between applications, Command and Tab. So hold Command, hit Tab. Now it's on Lightroom. I let go, and Lightroom came up. Where is it? It's hiding. It's hiding. Oh my Lord, where did it go? Lightroom, where are you? Aha, there you are. See, it saves it back. That's called round tripping, right? When you're tripping, and it saves it back in Lightroom, and then we'll export from here. We'll export the print version. So File, Export, and we have a print preset all made, and that we've chosen the folder to put it in, renamed custom name. Now this one, we're going to just put Multiplicity in there. Have it says print on it, and let's see, JPEG, sRGB. We're not going to change the size. We're going to print this probably on matte paper, so we have it like that, and then you just export. Now, let's save a web version. We're going to save that just from Photoshop, because you can turn off any text you may have on there, and we're going to export this for web. So we're going to go to File, Export. If you have text on here, just turn the visibility of the text off, because we're not going to have text on it when it's on the web. So File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. We're going right there. And so we're going to make sure here we have 2 up. That's why it looks like this. It's a JPEG, maximum quality, 100. JPEG, maximum 100. It's going to convert it to sRGB. That's the web color space. And now the image size, you're going to make the longest side, the biggest number, which on mine, it's 3,300 pixels. And I'm going to make that 1080. And then I'm going to just hit Tab, and it will, on the keyboard, and it will resize the image. The aspect ratio, the width by the height, is locked, so it's going to change that. Yours may not be that, and that's okay. So now I've got that saved perfectly, nice quality. Hit Save, and we're just going to leave it called Multiplicity. It's going into our folder. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I'm going over here to this folder, Multiplicity. It's the web version, so we can put web on there. And we're not going to hand this in. We're going to put it on the web. So that's what we'll need to know. So go ahead and, do we have a web folder for our things? No, we don't. Okay. Multiplicity, web, in the particular folder, whichever one. Save that. And we are good to go. Now, on this, in Photoshop, if you hit F, then you hit F again, it goes to full screen. So you can show your client, your model, what you did there. So that's a good thing to do there. Then hit F again. It goes back into Photoshop. So you guys have fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.